two classes are required for this chapter only. Okay. So let us quickly wrap up this chapter, otherwise it will be left in the middle. Okay, Aman.
Okay, sir.
Okay, no, like kind of like things will get mixed up if you were to start a chapter from mid. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, this chapter is also coming in my final, so sir, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, no. So far, like we have basically learned about the light and its property, reflection, and we were learning about mirrors. So there are three types of mirrors. Yes, Walaikum Assalam, Razan. How are you doing? Good. By the way, my screen is visible to everyone, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So we had learned about reflection of light and different types of mirrors, and we learned what is an image and what are two types of images. You guys tell me what are the two types of images? Mm-hmm.
Sir,
What are
virtual
the two types
image
of images? Hmm. And the
and a
real
real
image,
image.
right? Good. So there are two types of images that are formed. Then we did also learn about how the images forms in a plane mirror. What are the properties of images formed in a plane mirror, right? Like the image appears to form behind the mirror. Getting it? And the distance between the object and the mirror is same as the distance between the image and the mirror. If you were to increase or decrease this distance, so thereby the distance between the image and the mirror also decreases or increases like that. Okay. Further, we learned about erect and inverted images also. And we were learning about spherical mirrors. So you have got two types of spherical mirrors. Namely, we have concave and the convex mirrors, right? Also,
Yes, sir.
take a look at this one first. Like we had learned about mirrors in general. Like a mirror is a reflecting surface that bounces off light, producing either a real image or a virtual image, right? It can produce both, it can produce either a real or a virtual image. So when an object is placed in front of a mirror, the image of the same object is basically seen in the mirror. So that over here is a plane mirror, right? This one. And these are the spherical mirrors, right? Now, namely the concave and the convex mirrors, right? Okay. That is something we have learned. Also, take a look at how the image forms in the plane mirror. So as the rays of light, like these are the incident rays of light or basically incoming rays of light, they are falling onto this plane mirror right now. And after falling, what happens? They get reflected back. So you can see how they are getting reflected back into the other direction, right? Now, in order to form the image of this object in the plane mirror, we are tracing these reflected rays backward, right, Razan and Aman? Only you two are here right now, no?
Sir.
So we are tracing these reflected rays backwards via the help of dotted lines. So wherever these lines are meeting, like it is meeting over here, so thereby the image is forming here. And the image is formed, the image that is formed is virtual image now, right? You cannot reach it. It's not like the rays of light are actually meeting at a point. Got it? They're not actually meeting. Okay, that's why we have shown it with the dotted lines. That is one thing. Plus, image is laterally inverted also. The left side appears to be right side in the image, right? That is one thing. Further, the image is upside. It is erect basically, not upside down. But the size of the image is also same as that of the object. Now, the distance between the image obtained is same as the distance between the object from the mirror basically. So these were some of the properties of the image formed by a plane mirror. Then talking about the curved mirrors, also called as, what do we also call these mirrors as?
Spherical mirrors.
Exactly. Basically, spherical mirrors or the curved mirrors. One is the concave mirror, whose reflecting surface is bent inward. Bent inward. Also, see what happens when the rays of light gets reflected from this concave mirror. So pay attention to this arrow. So this indicates that all these rays of lines are falling onto the plane mirror, right? After falling, these incident rays of light are getting reflected and all of them are coming to converge at a point. Converge means to meet at a point. What does the word converge means? To meet at a point. Okay, no?
At a point.
Hmm. So all these rays of light are meeting at a point now after reflection, isn't it, Aman and Razan?
Yeah.
Right? So thereby, since the reflected rays of light converges at a point, this concave mirror is also called as, yes, what is written over here? Exactly. So concave mirrors are also called as converging mirror because they are converging the rays of light. Getting it, everyone, what we are trying to discuss here, right? So since the reflected rays meets at a common point, these mirrors are also called converging mirrors. Converging mirrors. Got it, both of you? Now, take a look at the convex mirror, whose reflecting surface is bulging outward. It is bent outward. What is happening in this case? The rays of light after reflection bounces back into different directions now. Are they coming to meet at a point, or they only appear to be meeting at a point? Like, see, we have drawn these lines behind the mirror, and these are dotted lines. Getting it, what I'm trying to say? The rays of light are not actually passing through this mirror. Yes, Razan, you getting it? Aman, you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So rays of lights are diverging. Diverge means to deviate, to go in different directions. The word diverge in very simple term means that to go in different directions. So the rays of light after reflection goes into different directions. So this mirror, that is the convex mirror, is also called as, yes,
Sir.
what, diverging mirror. Okay. So since the reflected rays diverges in different directions, hence this is also called diverging mirror. So keep this thing in mind that convex mirrors are also called as diverging mirrors, while the concave mirrors are also called as converging mirrors. Hope you guys will remember this so far. Okay, good. Further, we in fact we had learned about the nature of the image formed by concave mirror. So it may can be either or it can be virtual also. The image that is formed by this concave mirror can be both virtual or inverted and can either be inverted or erect. Okay, no? So it can form a real image as well as virtual image, and that will depend upon like how far the object is placed in front of the concave mirror. Getting what I'm trying to say? Whether a real image will be formed or virtual image, it depends upon how close that object is placed in front of the concave mirror. It can have the same size as that of the object, or a larger size that of the object, or a smaller size than that of the object. So this concave mirror has very special properties. Okay, now, so it is very easy also to memorize the properties of the image formed by this. Like the image will be can be either real or virtual, can be inverted or can be erect, can be of the same size, cannot be of larger size, or cannot be the smaller size. So that was the concave mirror. Then there are various applications of the concave mirror, right? Some of them we have already discussed earlier, like it can be used, it is used in the solar cookers also, right? It is used in the telescopes. Getting it is used as a dentist mirror, it is used in the torch lights. So these are some of the applications. Okay, so you have the TV dish antennas, there it is used. So we have the solar cookers. The above image over here is that of the solar cooker. You can see a cooking utensil is placed over here, right? And the if you have taken some food or water in it, it will start to become very hot. It will start to basically boil. Getting it? So there it is used. In the telescopes, concave mirrors are used. Further, in the dentist mirror, then also in the torch light also it is used.
In some
After this,
detectors mirror also.
exactly, there also basically this dentist mirror, you see, okay, dentist mirror, there it is used. And why it is used? Like when this concave mirror is brought close to the teeth, so it forms an enlarged view. It gives an enlarged view, basically forms a bigger image of the teeth here. Talking about the convex mirror, take a look at the surface of this convex mirror. Isn't it bulging outward? Yeah, bent outward, right? So image formed by this is always virtual, always erect, and it is smaller in size as that of the object. So you guys will have to memorize these properties. Okay, no? You have to memorize these properties. Okay. Then there are various applications of the convex mirrors too, right? Like very first application we had discussed in the previous class also, that it is used as rear view mirror in the vehicles, also used as security mirrors. Okay, now this is for the second time, like we are revising it. Okay, since many times students tend to forget these concepts. After mirrors, we will be learning about lenses. Okay, now we'll learn about lens and their applications, and then we will start this topic, that is the topic of dispersion. Okay, Aman and Razan. Now I want both of you to focus, put all your focus over here. And first of all, take a look at this animation as well. Yes, Aman, you're still there. Now, see, actually, I'm still out of town and I have been traveling for a while.
Hmm.
So thereby, I can't see how many students are who is joining, who is left, leaving the class. So try to be active, everyone. Okay, now.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now take a
Sir, I
look
was
at the given
just
animation.
writing something down about taking notes.
Uh, okay, no issues, no issues. Okay. By the way, please just remind me at the end that the new notes have to be shared with you guys. Now, by the way, I have shared one link in this batch. Did all of you got that, and were all of you present in that batch or not in that class? Razan, did you got that link where the PPTs have been uploaded?
Yes, sir.
You have?
Can you send it one more time?
Okay, okay. Aman, what about you? Did you open it? Yes, Aman.
Sir,
No, no, I'm
sir, I
asking.
told you about it, sir. It couldn't be opened, sir.
Oh, okay. You told me that that problem was there in the previous class also. No, no, but Razan managed to open it. Razan opened it. She asked for the access, and I gave her the access. I got an
I
email
don't
that.
know why, sir, it didn't open, sir. I even copy pasted it, but it
Hmm,
didn't open.
okay, see, I will ask the counselor to forward it to your WhatsApp numbers. Okay. Okay, see. Take a look at this concave lens. From both the sides, it is bulging outward. And this is the concave lens. The concave lens is like this. If you were to take two spherical mirrors like this, suppose, okay, so thereby a concave lens, it will look like a concave lens. Okay, now if I were to take two concave mirrors, sorry, convex mirrors, and if I were to combine them from both the sides, it will be looking like a convex lens. So this is how a convex lens looks like. And you guys notice what is happening to the rays of light that passes through it now. By the way, the rays of light passes through a lens. Okay, now keep this thing in mind that the rays of light are able to pass through a lens. Okay, because lens is a transparent object. All right, now. So what is happening to these rays of light when it passes through the convex lens? You guys tell me. Are they coming to meet at a point, or are they diverging in different directions?
We meet at a point.
They
Meet at a
meet at a
point.
point. Yeah, exactly. They meet at a point. Getting it now? So that is one such property of the convex lens, that when the rays of light passes through it, it meets at a point. So basically, it is converging the rays of light now. So can I call this as the converging lens?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. Now, what about the concave lens, the other type of lens which you are seeing in this given animation, which looks like
It
this?
doesn't meet.
Exactly. So it is basically diverging the rays of light in different directions now, right? So as the rays of light are passing through it, suppose these are the rays of light that goes through it. So it goes into different directions. It goes into different directions. So thereby we are calling, just 1 minute. There's someone on the door. 1 minute. Yes, Aman. So as you can see here, in the other type of lens, as the rays of light are passing through it, it is going into different directions and not coming to meet at a point. So this type of lens is called as the concave lens. Concave lens. Further, we see that but what will be its name? Should we call this as a diverging lens? Yes, this one is going to be called as diverging lens. Good. So that is about the two types of lens which we are discussing over here. Now, let's get back to this. 1 minute. Okay. So lens basically is part of a reflecting material, like a glass or a plastic, but curved from both the sides, right? And they are different from mirrors as uh, as a mirror does the work of reflection. Like this is a plane mirror, suppose. So the rays of light gets reflected from this plane mirror right now. It bounces back and goes into other direction like this, suppose. These are the incoming rays of light. After coming in contact with the plane mirror, it goes into the other direction. So reflection is occurring from here, right? But in the case of lens, reflection is not occurring. Basically, what is happening? The rays of light are actually passing through it. Will either come to meet at a point or will either diverge into different directions right now. And depending on the shape, we have basically two types. One that is the convex lens, another one is the concave lens. Getting it now? So now let us sum up the differences, like how they are different from one another and what kind of images will be formed. The very first thing, if you were to compare that, talking about the continue Razan. No, no, it's lens. It's lens.
They show smaller images.
Good.
And concave mirrors, concave lenses, they show larger images.
Magnified image, a larger image. Very good. Okay, so forms smaller image. Good. Next, talking about the concave lens, forms are diminished or forms a larger or enlarged image, forms a magnified image. Further, we are also calling this convex lens as the converging lens, right?
Lens.
And this one as the
diverging lens.
Diverging lens. Very good. Further, when we take a look at the convex lens, it is thicker at the middle while thinner at the edges, right? So talking about its shape.
Convex mirror, the light touches at the midpoint.
Exactly.
And
also talking about its shape.
They don't touch. They don't meet at a point.
Good. Basically, that is covered in this converging lens and the diverging lens topic. Okay, we can write a detailed note on that as well. So thicker at the middle and thinner at the edges. That is one thing. Talking about the shape of the concave. Continue.
Concave is thinner at the middle and thicker at the edges.
Good. So thinner at the middle and thicker at edges. Good. Further, talking about like what kind of image, like whether it will be real or inverted, let us discuss that also. So convex lens forms an image that is real and always inverted, right? Now always inverted. That is one thing. Further, talking about the concave lens. So concave lens forms an image that is virtual while erect, virtual and erect. So let us write that on that topic also. It forms a real and inverted image. Real and inverted image, meaning that we can obtain it on a screen and it will be inverted, while this one will be
concave will be virtual and erect.
Exactly, virtual and upright, or basically erect. So these are the differences between the two types of lenses which we have discussed over here. Now talking about the uses of the lens particularly. Okay, So you guys try to think about it. Like you must have used magnifying glasses and all different types of lenses. Huh? So tell me where the different types of lenses are used, particularly the concave and convex. Any idea? Also, before we continue, you guys tell me, out of the two types of lenses, out of the two types of lenses, whose reflectings, whose surface is bulging outward?
Concave? No, convex.
It's a convex. Very good. Okay. Now you must have used a magnifying glass sometime, right? As a kid, you must have used it right now. So magnifying glass, you must have seen that as the sunlight will be passing through that magnifying glass. So you
I
will
haven't
opt
used
in a,
it.
you have good. So you will see that
No, sir.
a
I haven't.
oh, oh, okay, okay. So a bright image of the sun forms. A bright image of the sun forms behind the convex lens, particularly. Okay, na? So there it is particularly used. So that is convex lens. So concave lens, let us discuss about this one first, or let us talk about convex lens first. Depending upon their properties, these types of lenses are used for different purposes. Okay, particularly these lenses are used in microscopes, in the cameras, in telescopes, in binoculars, in magnifying glasses. Also is used to correct some eye conditions. Getting it, no? Some eye conditions also. So talking about this one first, that's a convex lens. So this one is used to, you guys can see what I'm writing here, no? Like it's visible, the one in black text, black writing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so used to correct the eye defect. Yes. Okay, so used to create the eye defect called hyper hypermetropia. So there this is used. Okay. Talking about the concave lens, this is also used to create an eye defect. By the way, hypermetropia is such an eye defect where the person is able to look at the objects that are kept far away, but will be unable to look at objects that are kept nearby. Getting what I'm trying to say? Like
Yes, sir.
the objects that are very kept far away from our eyes, we'll be able to look at it very sharply, but won't be able to look at things that are kept nearby. That is hypermetropia, and that can be cured with the help of convex lens. Now talking about concave lens, so used to treat eye defect called as called as my sorry called as myopia. Now in this one, the person will be able to look at objects that are kept nearby very easily, but won't be able to look at objects that is kept far away. Just remember that they are used for respectively curing hypermetropia and myopia. Okay, no, that is one thing. Further, convex lenses are used in cameras also. Used in cameras and also used in microscopes. Telescopes also good. By the way, you guys know, like in microscopes and telescopes, the combination of convex lens and concave lens both is used. Not just one type of lens is used, but both of them is used. Okay, right? So in this one, too, we will write that microscopes make use of concave lens also, and telescopes also use this concave lens. So they use both the types of lenses. Okay. So hope you guys have understood this much so far. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Good. And also take a look at this convex lens here, and take a look at the concave lens, like how the images are being formed. Okay. Now let's get done with some of the questions, and then we will continue with the next topic. Okay. By the way, so far we are done with the topic of lens and mirrors as well. Okay. Let me see if any questions are missed. Okay, one topic that is left was the pinhole camera. Okay, we will get back to this also in a minute.
Sir,
Mean
this
value.
pinhole camera, sir, is also in the sixth class book, sir. We have learned about it. Sir, it
Yeah.
also shows an inverted image, and sir, we can also make it.
Yes, obviously we can make it obviously.
And sir,
In
it
fact,
only makes inverted images. So, sir, it's hard to
yeah,
see.
not very difficult to see, but it does not forms a very sharp image.
When
By
we
the way,
put a convex mirror on front of it, we can see things clearly, even though it's
yeah.
inverted.
Hmm. Yeah, even though if it is inverted, we can see things clearly. You're talking about the convex lens, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you guys answer these questions quickly. By the way, in context of that pinhole camera, there is one student in the sixth grade who has made it, and it's actually working. By the way,
Sir,
continue.
concave B part.
Its B part shows lateral inversion. Which one of the following shows lateral inversion? It's a plane mirror, concave mirror,
Sir,
convex
B.
mirror. Or okay, what about you, Razan?
Plane mirror.
The appropriate answer is plane mirror here. Okay, like as in haven't we learned about the plane mirror in particular? Hmm. Continue.
Then it is. Which of the following is used as a side view mirror?
Yes.
CCC. Convex.
Yes, very good, both of you. A virtual image.
Sir, A.
Be careful with this answer. Virtual image. It is
Formed
virtual.
only by the convex mirror.
No,
A, sir.
no. Real images form on the screen now. A real
Sir,
image is formed on the screen.
it is formed only by the plane mirror.
Yes, sir, I
Yes,
agree.
option good. Option C is appropriate. Okay, because in the convex mirror, what we have learned, it forms a real and inverted image. Okay, now real and inverted image. Real and inverted image. Okay, keep that in mind. The image formed by a spherical mirror is virtual. What will be this mirror? It's virtual. Yeah, moments ago we have
Concave.
learned this. It's the
Concave.
concave. Very good. Because just right now I told you that convex mirror always forms real and inverted. So thereby
Inverted.
concave mirror is the right answer. Good. By the way, concave mirror now can form both the types of images. Like it can form virtual as well as erect also, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now this question maybe you might be able to answer, or once we discuss, will be both of you would be able to answer. Okay, the last question.
Sir, I know this, sir, I think.
Okay, tell us.
Dispersion of light. Sir, can you please explain dispersion?
This, yeah, this is a topic that will take some time. Okay, in short, I won't be explaining in short because you won't
Sir,
grasp the complete concept.
Sir, the
one
answer
my
is
teacher discussed.
spectrum.
Mhm. Yes, Razan, that is a spectrum, by the way. Okay, nonetheless, let us start the discussion of this topic. Okay, by the way, pinhole was left to be discussed, guys. Pinhole camera. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
let us discuss about this pinhole camera right now. Now, I'm talking about the pinhole camera. Okay, see, basically, this is a simple optical instrument. It's a simple optical instrument with the help of which we obtain
But we
a.
can't see clearly, sir. It
Mhm.
is so blur.
Yeah, indeed it is blur. So like the details of the objects are not that much clear. It
Mm-hmm.
forms a hazy and blurry image.
Yes,
Nonetheless,
sir.
this type of pinhole camera basically explains the topic of explains the concept of what do you say, like the rectilinear propagation of light is explained very well by this. Okay, no? So I think you must have learnt about it in the previous classes also, like how the construction is done and all that. Okay. Hmm. Does anyone of you know who discovered it? Who invented it? We should be properly saying that. Who invented pinhole?
So I know the name, but I forgot it.
Sir, me too.
Okay.
I forgot.
Okay. See, during the 11th century, now there was an Arab scientist by the name of Ibn al-Haytham.
Sir, yes, sir. I was only saying that, sir, he's a male person.
Hmm. Right now? Okay, so the concept of the pinhole camera, like throughout the history, it has been explored by many scientists and thinkers, right? But it was like they were only thinking about this, okay, no? But
Sir,
it
it was
was
used
in
as a telescope.
not
Sir, not
particularly as
telescopes, sir, like binoculars.
no binoculars gives a zoomed view, no, of things. That's a different thing. Binocular makes use of lenses and not of mirrors. Now binoculars that uses lenses, okay.
Okay, sir.
See, so like yeah, where was I? Ibn al-Haytham, right? So Ibn al-Haytham, he made significant contributions to the understanding of the concept of light and how does light works, how light travels. Okay, no? So he had this idea of pinhole camera. Okay, although the idea of the pinhole camera was very old, but it was the Ibn al-Haytham who basically made a model of this pinhole camera and also explain the working of this. Getting it now? So we can credit him as the inventor of pinhole camera. Okay, that was Ibn al Haytham. Okay, by the way,
Sir,
in the
just like
West,
Newton discovered gravity, he did not invent
hmm,
it, sir, just like that.
no, like discovering and inventing is different thing. Like this, discovering is like something is already there and you just discover it.
Hmm.
Something is already there. But pinhole camera was not there made up in the nation. He invented it by himself. For example, a chair. I invented a chair. The chair was,
Hmm.
I won't say I discovered the chair because chair was not there. I
Not
invented it,
there.
right?
Hmm.
Good. So let us discuss like what is this pinhole camera and how it basically works. Okay. So as I told moments ago, that basically it is a simple optical instrument that works.
But about this, it will not come in our exam now because it's not in the book.
Yeah, I will just give a short overview of this. Okay, no, not in that much of depth. Okay. So pinhole camera is a simple optical instrument that works on the concept of you all have understood about rectilinear propagation now and makes use of a tiny pinhole to form a inverted and diminished image. It does not it does not uses a lens or a mirror. Okay. So basically the thing is that say that this is a screen. Take a look at this figure over here. Say this is the screen over here. Okay, no? So on this screen, the inverted image is formed. Now, why the inverted image is formed? Because say that these are the rays of light that are coming from the top of the tree. Okay, let's call this as A. Let's call this as B. Okay, Razan and Fatima. Fatima is not
Yes,
there, no?
sir.
Okay, Aman and Razania. So this is the rays of light that are going to come from the top of the tree, and it will go from this tiny pinhole and will fall on the bottom of this translucent screen on which image has to be obtained. Okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
these are the rays of light that are coming from the bottom of the tree, goes through this tiny hole and falls on the upper portion of this translucent screen. So thereby, this is the ray A. That's the ray B. So thereby we see that as we know that rays of light will always travel in a straight line. Now, are the rays of light
Yes, sir.
bent? They are traveling in a straight line. So this shows the rectilinear propagation of light. So this proves that rays of light always travels in a straight line. So thereby an inverted image is formed here. And by sliding the bigger box forward or backward, you can decrease or increase the brightness of this image form over here. Okay. And also, to obtain a sharp image, the pinhole size is made smaller. If you were to make it bigger, more light will enter, brighter image will form, but it will be blurry. Okay. If the pinhole size is very small, so thereby a sharp image will be formed, but it will be dim.
Sir,
Getting it, both of you?
sir, if we spoke about with the pencil
Hmm?
in the image,
Yeah, no, not like that. It does not have to be any random box. We need to make it like you have to take two boxes like this. Suppose 1 minute.
like some baking paper.
Yeah, you can take a translucent paper. You can use a tracing paper. So you have to take two boxes, like one like this. Okay.
Sir, we
You
can
have
even
to.
make it like in the circle shape.
Of course, you can make it in the cylindrical shape like this also. Okay, you can make it like that also.
Hmm.
So you have to take two boxes. One smaller and the other one has to be just slightly bigger than this, not that much bigger. Big enough that it will just slide front and backward. And this, like this portion, you will cut it out and you will paste a translucent screen like a tracing paper. On this one, you will make a small hole. Okay, so like that it basically works. Okay, so I just needed to explain you guys like what this thing and how does it work. Okay, the construction and all that, since question will not be asked, but I suppose you guys already know how it has to be made. Okay, no? That is the case. Further, we have natural pinhole camera also. So when we pass under a tree covered with large number of leaves, we notice these small patches of sunlight under it. Like this, you must have observed it right now. What are these guys? These are actually the images of sun form on the ground. Getting it?
What are those?
Images of the sun. Images of the sun. Okay, now.
Okay,
So,
sir.
so these circular images, although not very circular, but look circular, right? So what is happening? The gaps between the leaves of the tree, the gaps between the leaves of the tree, they act as pinhole. They act as pinhole. Getting it? Like this is the gap, suppose, between the leaves of the tree. So from this, the ray of light will pass. It will fall onto the ground and will form the image of the sun. Hope you guys are getting it so far.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no? Good. Real and inverted we have discussed. We have learned about spherical mirrors. Now let us talk about the concept of dispersion. Okay. Uh, Aman, please read the given paragraph.
You might have noticed a rainbow which usually appears after the rain. When the sun is low in the sky, an arc of seven colors seen in the sky is known as the rainbow. The seven colors of a rainbow are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. We might also have seen that when we blow so bubbles, they appear colorful. Similarly, when light is reflecting from the surface of a compact disc CD, we can see many colors. The rainbow is produced by the dispersion of sunlight on by tiny raindrops suspended in the atmosphere.
Okay. See, so you as a child, I mean to say that you must have noticed a rainbow, right now. Usually, it appears when there is a rainfall and when the sun is lower in the horizon. It is in the lower sky. Getting it? It is not like during the afternoon. This rainbow is very less likely to occur during the afternoon when the sun is directly overhead. Getting it? Like for example, during the afternoon, the sun is directly overhead, no, above overhead. So you will not notice rainbows forming particularly during that time when the sun is in the lowest sky, like in the evening, almost during the evening time, suppose. Okay, when it's 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, like that time. So you must have seen this arc of seven colors that is visible in the sky. That is visible in the sky. Okay, and you know that one thing. 1 minute. I guess I have one diagram for this. This one over here. See, when the sun is in the lower sky, so you must have seen this arc of seven different colors in the sky. Getting it? So what is happening here? Basically, while it is raining, so there are lots of rainwater, raindrops in the sky, right?
Sir,
And as the yes,
sir, it can also be formed by a prism.
yeah, obviously it can be formed by a prism also, right? We will get back to that also. I have certain diagrams for you
Okay, sir.
guys to help explain that as well. See. So what is basically happening? Let us understand that. Okay. By the end of the discussion, we will get to know that sunlight is made up of 7 different colors. We will get to know that. Okay. So we say that is sunlight white or colored? So that is the discussion we are having here. Like, is it made up of white color only, or does it have multiple colors in this? Okay.
Multiple,
So yes,
it has multiple colors.
obviously multiple colors, right? That is why this, like, the question comes like, from where did these 7 different colors came from? It basically came when the sunlight passed from these tiny raindrops, so thereby they got dispersed, they got separated into different colors, namely 7 component colors. So thereby dispersion occurred here. What happened? Dispersion occurred here. Okay, so that is the question over here. 1 minute. Also see this one as well. So what is happening? Take a look at this diagram first of all. Okay. Now see, we have taken a ray of sunlight that passes through this raindrop. Okay. Now as the ray of light passes through this raindrop, it got split up into different colors. Namely, it got split up into violet, then indigo, then blue, then green, yellow, orange, and red. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Look over here as well. In this one, you can see violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Right? So what has basically happened here? Let me take one more diagram for you guys. Say that this is the ray of sunlight that passed through this. Now, sunlight, as the different rays of light, I mean to say, as the sunlight passes through this raindrop, so it got split up into 7 different colors. Okay, now. So the first one is violet in color. Second one is indigo in color. Another one is blue in color. Like this, total 7 colors are there till red. Till red. Also, you guys might have noticed that the rays of light that are passing through the raindrop, they are slightly bended, isn't it? Also, take a look at this prism also. First of all, take a look at this one also. Later on, we will visit this prism. So we will notice that the rays of light that are passing through it, it is bending into different colors. It is bending into different colors. Now, why it is bending? Let us discuss that also. Okay. See, we have taken this glass prism, suppose, and that's the white light, basically the sunlight that is passing through it. And sunlight is made up of 7 different colorful lights. 7 different colorful lights. And when it enters into a new medium, unlike earlier, the sunlight was passing in air. It was passing in air, isn't it, Fatima? And isn't it Razan and Aman? Right?
Yes, sir.
Now it has entered into a new medium, into a different thing, into a different medium. That is this glass prism. So thereby the speed at which the different colors of light were traveling, it decreases. It will not go on with the same speed. So the speed and all the rays of light travels at different speeds. So violet also gets split up. Indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. All of them got split up, and they are bending here. All of them are bending at different angles. They are bending at different angles here. So that is the reason why the sunlight splits up into 7 different colors, because when the sunlight passes through a glass prism, so since all these colorful lights travels at different speeds, so they bend differently. They bend differently. Getting it? So rainbow, which we are discussing here, it's simply a natural phenomena in which the light rays of the sun are reflected first. What is happening? Oh, I mean to say refracted first, right? And then reflected and then reflected, and then again refracted. And this leads to the formation of rainbow via this water droplets that are present in the atmosphere. And this rainbow basically appears as an arc on the sky that contains a band of 7 colors, which we are calling as violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Tell me what you guys have understood so far.
When the sun, when the rain comes, the sun's reflects light. When it hits the rain, it disperses into several colors, and it first starts from violet, indigo, and so on.
Okay, good. Okay, so the main topic here is basically dispersion, and the rainbow formation was one such example of dispersion. Okay, now, so let me just describe this for you guys, like what this topic is basically, like what is basically dispersion of light. So dispersion sorry, it is the process of splitting up of white light into its 7 component colors. And when does it happens? When it passes through a glass prism, or either it passes through a raindrop, right? Now, so this takes place when it passes through a glass prism or raindrops. Okay, so as we know that white light is made up of every color on the visible spectrum. As you guys can see, white light is made up of these 7 colors of light, and each color of light, colored light travels at a different speed. All of them travels at a different speed. Getting it now? So thereby, when the sunlight enters into a new medium, all of them starts to bend differently, and thereby, when it comes out from the glass prism, it comes out as a band of 7 different colors, and this band of 7 different colors is what we call as a spectrum. If you take a glass prism, so on the wall you can observe this spectrum. On a wall or on a sheet of paper, you can observe this. And rainbows are basically natural examples of the dispersion of light. So what is basically happening in the case of rainbows, that these tiny raindrops are behaving as glass prisms, and when the rays of light passes through it, so they first, what is happening here? When the rays of, let me take a different eye. Okay, this one over. See, when the rays of light are passing through it, so it starts to bend, and the bending of light is basically called as refraction. Yes, Aman and Razan, the bending of light is called as, when the
Yes,
light
sir.
when the light bends, it is called as refraction. Okay, so the rays of light first bends, and then it reflects, and again it bends, as we guys can see here. So that is how it occurs.